Hello, it's Mrs. B again. We're going to read some more of Fourth Grade Rats by Jerry Spinelli. Chapter 4 starts with Zippernose and Bubba. Let's find out what Suds is up to. Zippernose and Bubba. I'm no good at hiding my feelings. My mother says I would never make a good poker player. Whatever that means. Bad first day? She said as soon as she spotted me. I slumped on the sofa. Worst first day ever. She whistled. That is bad. What happened? I don't know. Lots. It's hard to explain. She sat down beside me. She patted my knee. Give it a try. I took a deep breath. Well, it's all about being in fourth grade. Now, you know, a rat. Third grade angels, fourth grade rats. So I'm not an angel anymore. She snapped her fingers. Well, golly gee, you could have fooled me. You're not funny, Mom. That's your opinion. I happen to think I am quite funny. I glared at her. Yeah, well, you wouldn't think it was so funny if you were in fourth grade and everybody was giving you a hard time. Life isn't as simple as it was in the old days, you know. I got problems. Her grin disappeared. Her eyes changed. She stroked my hair. Yeah, I guess you do. Tell you what, she squeezed my leg. I think it's time for a bath. Yeah, I said, I think so too. I dragged myself upstairs. When I was a baby, I had upset stomachs a lot. It made me pretty cranky. You were not a ton of fun to be with, my mother says. But she discovered something that helped, a bath. The warm water would have a good effect on me. I would stop crying. I would calm down. Sometimes she would pour in bubble bath. Pretty soon I'd be laughing and splashing. Suds were flying. My mother says each time a bubble burst on my face, it made a freckle. She says Suds gave me my curly hair, too. One thing's for sure, Suds gave me my name. I stopped having upset stomachs by the time I was 2, but I never stopped liking a warm bath. It doesn't matter what time of the day or night it is. If I'm sad or ticked off or wound up about something, I usually feel better if I head for the water. Well, that's what she meant when she told me to take a bath. 5 minutes later, there I was in the tub with my tugboat and my dinosaur. I guess even I had to admit that I was getting a little too old for toys in the bathtub. But I still like them. They've been with me as long as I can remember. What was I supposed to do? All of a sudden, hate them? Throw them away? I started thinking about my life, the important things in it. My Disney World t-shirt, my bike, my Klondike bars, my Matchbox car collection, Heavenly Hash ice cream, sliding boards, Spider-Man, Spiker Kid, Winky, my one-eyed teddy bear, my oldest friend in the world. I tried to picture life without them. I couldn't. I always thought when you grew up, stuff like bikes and bubblegum just sort of disappeared from your life. You didn't want them anymore. They got replaced by cars and coffee and all. I never thought you actually had to give them up, whether you were ready or not. I thought growing up was just something that happened. You just sort of went along for the ride. But if Joey was right, growing up didn't just happen to you. You had to work at it. And that, according to Joey, meant being a rat. For the first time in my life, I wanted time to slow down. I didn't care if I never had another birthday, as long as I could keep my one-eyed teddy bear. My brain was sore from all this thinking. I ran the faucet some more. I let myself sink into the water. The lower I sank, the better I felt. It was like I could feel time slowing down, feel it stopping, going backwards, back to third grade angels, second grade cats, first grade babies, little yellow tugboats bobbing in the water, bobbing, bobbing. My mother's voice, Sudsy, dinner time. As soon as I sat down to dinner, Zippernose, otherwise known as my sister Amy, sneered at me. Rat. She didn't stop there. She puckered her mouth and raised her upper lip, baring her 2 front teeth. I had to admit it was a good imitation. Rat, 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 she went. My mother plopped some mashed potatoes on her plate. Amy, stop. It was too late. Baby brother Bubba was already baring his little fangs and going, wat, wat, wat. He doesn't say his R's right yet. Bubba, you too, snapped my mother. Right, Mom. Now Zippernose was nibbling like a rat on a slice of bread. And now Bubba was nibbling like a rat on his hot dog. And now my mother was standing and slamming a serving spoon down on the table. I said stop. She glared at my father. Elmore? My father looked up from his plate. Stop, he said, and went back to his eating. My mother is pretty laid back, but compared to my father, she's a nervous wreck. My mother sat back down. Mom, whined Zippernose, I can't help it. He's a rat now. I'm just treating him like the dirty, rotten, slimy rat that he is. Wat, 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 said Bubba. Enough, commanded my mom. Amy, another word from you and you can leave the table. Zippernose's words stopped, but not her faces. She kept baring her front teeth and nibbling on her food. All right, said Mom. Upstairs. Zippernose screeched. Mom, I didn't say anything. You're making faces. You said not another word. You didn't say not another face. I'm saying it now. Your dinner is over. Leave the table. Upstairs. To your room. Close the door. Good night. Zippernose stomped off. Before she ran upstairs, she yelled back, Rodent. Bubba echoed, Woden, Woden, Woden. Then he started laughing. When Bubba laughs and eats at the same time, he becomes a midget volcano. Pieces of mashed potato and hot dog were flying everywhere. I slammed my fork down. I'm out of here. I stomped off. My mother called, Suds, here. I didn't say no, like Joey told me, but I didn't say yes either. I just kept going. Chapter 5, You're Not Funny. Later, my mother cornered me in my room. Okay, she said. Is that how dinner is going to be every day? A madhouse? It's not my fault, I told her. All I did was get promoted to 4th grade. My mother sat on the bed. Sudsy, maybe you're taking this too seriously. It's just a school kid's rhyme, you know. I'm sure it'll pass over in a day or two. Sure, I sneered. Tell that to all the kids at school calling me a rat. Tell it to Zippernose. Tell it to Joey. What does Joey have to say about all this? I laughed. Ha! He loves it. He's glad he's a rat. He says it's nature's way. He says it's a step up to being a man. She chuckled. The way to a man is through a rat, huh? I keep telling you it's not funny. You're right, she said. She spanked her own hand. There. Bad, Mom. That'll teach me. I glared at her. You can forget it if you're trying to make me laugh. It's not working. She pretended to pout. Darn. Okay. No more funny stuff. You're miserable and that's that, right? Right. Bath didn't help? Yeah, it did, till I had to get out. She snapped her fingers. Aha! All right. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to call the school and pull you out of there. We'll hire a tutor to come in and teach you. She can sit on the toilet seat while you're in the tub. We'll serve you your meals in there. After a couple months, you should be shriveled down to the size of, a frog. I pointed to the door. Mom, out. Or maybe we could put wheels on the bathtub and roll you off to school at day. We could, Mom. She shut up. She stood. She was biting her lip to keep from cracking up at her own hilarious self. She took a deep breath. She put her hand on my shoulder. Tell you what, there's more than one way to become a man. What's that? I said. Go sweep the sidewalk. You'll be a man in no time. She looked at me. I looked at her. Joey's voice hissed in my ear. Say no to your mother. Joey's voice was no match for my mother's look. I got the broom and went outside. I swept the sidewalk. My father had just cut the grass. He was putting the mower back in the garage. His weights were in the corner. They covered with dust. Dad, I said, do you still lift your weights? Haven't for a couple of years now, he said. I'm saving them for you and Bubba. Did they help you become a man? He looked at them. Oh, I don't know. I guess they helped me look like one. Can I see your muscle? He wheeled the mower into its place. He laughed. You haven't asked me that in a long time. You used to ask me every day. I lifted his arm to get him started. Well, come on, let me see. He put his hand behind his head and made the muscle. It looked like a baseball in there, or even a softball. Make it bounce, I told him. I reached up and he made it bounce. I reached up and touched it. It was smooth and round and hard, like wood. Pull me up, I said, like you used to. He lowered his arm a little. I don't know if I still can. You're not such a shrimp anymore, you know. I grabbed on with both hands. Hoist away. His arm started to crank up. My legs got straight. Then I was on tiptoes. Then I was off the ground. I hung there for a couple of seconds. Then he let me down. We went back out. He closed the garage door. I asked him if he used to take a lunchbox to school when he was in 4th grade. He thought. He nodded. Yep, I did. Did it have anything on the outside of it? Nope. It was one of those old-fashioned ones like Grandpa took to work. I wanted one just like his. No animals on it, huh? Elephants? Anything? He shook his head. No, afraid not. It was black, about as dull as a lunchbox gets. He opened the front door. How about swings, Dad? Did you ever kick a little kid off a swing? He stopped. He looked at me funny. Where did that question come from? Somebody kick you off a swing? Oh, no, I said, heading outside. Just wondering. When I pulled down my bed cover that night, I found a mousetrap on my pillow. Dad thought we had a mouse once. It was set with a little piece of cheese. I tripped it with a pencil. It snapped like a cap pistol and flipped halfway up to the ceiling. I grabbed the trap, charged down the hall to Zipper Nose's room, yanked open her door, and rifled the trap into the dark, right about where she would be lying in bed. The phone rang. I didn't bother with the squawks coming from Zipper Nose's room. I picked up the phone. A voice whispered, Did you say no to your mother?